Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Rommel, the physician owner of Dream with Botox Clinic, and I have with me today a delectable Ebony Ruffin, who pioneers the first of our mini series. Today we'll be talking to you about beauty, health, and how all of that comes together to make people glow and be the best versions of themselves. So let's pass on the mic to you. Welcome to our clinic. So nice to see you.
Thank
You're
you.
Beautiful.
Thank you.
Yes.
Thank you. Cheers.
Cheers. To many more days of happiness and beauty.
And beauty.
Yes.
Thank you.
So, may I call you Ebony?
Yes.
Yes. Tell us a little bit about yourself, your background, what you do, and let's start with that.
Absolutely. Hello, everyone. My name is Ebony Ruffin. I am originally from Montgomery, Alabama. I'm known as an Army brat. My mom was active duty Army, and that afforded me the opportunity to travel the world. I currently reside in the Buckhead community of Atlanta, Georgia. I am a proud graduate of Auburn University as well as Mercer University. And through Ruffin Consulting Services, I'm changing the narrative of life insurance from a death benefit to a wealth benefit. Outside of all things education and fun, I enjoy partaking in taking care of myself from within and outward as well, and that's what have us here today.
Well, that's amazing. I mean, this is a very poised lady who has really hit on her shoulders, and I'm very proud that she's agreeing to be our pioneer for this mini talk series. And
Thank you.
You're welcome. And I want to say I'm ravished by just your beauty, the sheer beauty. You're almost matching our colors at the core here with emerald green.
Yes, very intentional. Upon my first visit here at the clinic, I was just in awe of every detail, the chandeliers, the fabric, the chairs, the color. And so you taught me how to treat your business. So with launching this series and being your first guest on here, I knew that the bar was set high, and I wanted to be intentional with what we're doing here. And at the end of the day, we are imparting an experience to the audience here, and that comes from within and outward. So we have the outward here, and hopefully we'll be digging a little bit deeper to what that means internally as well.
Thank you for the great flattery and compliments. I would say she's always elegant, but I would really say that when you find a beautiful lady like her who chooses you, I can only be honored. So thank you so much.
You're welcome, and thank you.
Yeah, and how did you go about finding our clinic, and what made you choose us?
Well, here in the community of Atlanta, it's definitely important to have a quality network. And through my network, I heard of you.
Okay.
I did not need to go and do any further research than the referral. The referral spoke so highly of your practice, your services, and their actual results that I said, okay, you have to get him on the phone now. And so a phone call was made. I booked an appointment. I immediately received my appointment confirmation. And at that time I said, this is a business owner who understands business. It was outside of normal business hours, but I received my appointment confirmation. And when I came for my appointment, you know, there wasn't this like, oh my goodness, I'm nervous. You know, what am I doing? I went with just this sheer sense of confidence that I had made the right decision and that my referral sent me to the right location. And upon walking into your practice, I felt it. Greeted with excellent customer service. I was given a walkthrough, explained, you know, your purpose and your impact. And then we began to sit down and discuss my specific desires.
Yes.
Because it wasn't a need, it was a desire. And that desire, it was important to me. And the reason that I state that is in business, we shouldn't turn a blind eye to the visual that's seen before we begin to open our mouth. And with that understood, I wanted to make sure that I'm intentional from my health within, but also my external look. And so there's no other place to go than to you.
Oh my gosh, thank you so much. And I would say this, for those of you who don't know, she saw me, this beautiful young lady, and said, I have a desire
Yes.
of taking my face from where I am now, which is absolutely gorgeous, to a Tiffany level. And I was a little bit, I looked at her and said, I gotta get this right, but like we always do. So we had to do what we call facial fillers, dermal fillers. We would put it in the right areas to enhance her features. So she actually still looks like herself,
Yes.
but just an enhanced version of herself. More like a facial rejuvenation. We had to put it in her cheek area and kind of plumb them up, and that gave her more definition. So it just matches her personality.
Yes. I also believe that with the facial rejuvenation, I don't have a great skill set in makeup application and so forth, but as a woman, a business owner, you always want to leave the house with a polished look. And I do believe with my fillers and the facial rejuvenation, I kind of have that polished look without having to have so much intention with the other things as well. And I think it's important too because we put a lot of emphasis on pedicures,
Yes,
manicures, facials, I mean spas, we've done it all. And as we get older in life, we don't want to limit care for our face based on just facials or having a good system at home. Like with everything, there may be some drooping over a period of time, and we want a refresh. We want to be uplifted, and I think that you definitely did that for me.
I can actually see that in you, and it's glowing. And I agree with what she said, because most times we often spend a lot of money on designer wares, and they're beautiful, don't get me wrong, but we neglect ourselves. And I think that when you came, there was this, I want to do these things before I even have to do them. So they were like more of a desire.
Yes.
And in your professional life, how has this experience been for you? Has it helped you, marred you? Has it been the same since you came to our clinic and had your facial rejuvenation?
I do get the looks like, but no one knows exactly what. And sometimes people do not want to ask, but you, if you know the people you're truly engaging with, they're giving you the look like,
what is that I see?
Yes, and it's definitely been positive feedback. I can say that most people, when they do figure out what it is that I've done exactly, they're like, I knew something just was,
glowing. You were there, like a voila look.
But it was never a concern of, oh my goodness, you've totally changed the structure of your face. And I think it's important for us to understand that investing in facial rejuvenation doesn't mean a total alter to your face. You can maintain your level of beauty, but you're enhancing it. And it's no different than having an eyebrow structure and you're enhancing your eyebrows. Having eyelash extensions to enhance and have volume. So facial rejuvenation and rebalancing, I welcome it into my life. I speak about it in my inner circle. We all talk about it. And it's where we think it's important as we're, I hate to say getting older, but
as we're advancing in our lives to do those things, and I agree.
Absolutely.
So more like before you've turned a hush conversation into, look, I'm confident enough to do this for myself.
Yes.
It's basically all about you putting yourself forward and saying, I deserve this because I think that I want this. And science has changed.
Yes.
Medicine has evolved. Back in the day, we only had to do surgery, and now we have options, so many options.
Oh, I was in and out. I came in and we
20-25 minutes, we were already laughing together
and done.
Sipping champagne.
Yes.
And done.
I was able to carry on with my evening activities. I think it was a Friday.
It was a Friday.
So, and I would just like to say that was actually my first time ever doing anything to my face.
Yes.
And I just had this sense of calmness throughout the process. And I do like that we talked about some areas that I want to enhance, and I like that you helped me kind of map out a plan, and so that everything stays within symmetry and within like the natural kind of structure of my face.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to returning as we kind of work on some other things as well.
I love it. So it was basically tailored. But the little secret is I tailored it to your face.
Well, I like
so
that.
I don't think anybody can come here and say, give me Ebony's face. I would say, I'm sorry, it's hers.
Yes.
It's custom made already for her.
Yes.
But I mean, I agree with you that it's really a time in our lives. We have all of this at our disposal. We take advantage of it. And I feel for you as a very confident and beautiful lady, African American lady, I'm gonna say that out there. How would you? Have you perceived a notion out there that people would say, oh, why are you doing this? Because I often hear as a doctor when people say, I didn't know we could do this. I didn't know. It's like we almost limit ourselves. And I want to ask you as a lady, do you get that kind of like sensation that people are trying to box you in a corner and then you don't have options anymore for certain things?
Well, I think it all depends on who you are surrounded with. And
That's
sometimes, I don't want to say mindset can be limited, but people don't know what they don't know. So let's say, for example, if I was maybe back at home in Montgomery, Alabama, and around family members, they may kind of question it in the way that you just presented here. But I could say maybe I'm amongst my friends that I finished undergrad and grad school with, maybe some colleagues, and it wouldn't be as much of a
shock.
A shock, yeah. So I think for one, it depends on your surroundings as well as your mindset. And it's not to say that a mindset that hasn't quite grasped it yet is wrong. It's just that people don't know what they don't know. And when people don't know, they're automatically intimidated with an assumption of cost. Most people, for the most part, we probably can afford most things. It's just that people will allocate their funds to what is familiar and most comfortable to them at that point in life. But it takes a global beauty series such as what you're doing, as well as getting out in the community and educating people to know that facial rejuvenation and balance doesn't mean that it's only limited to a certain market or a certain class of people.
It's to everyone.
It's for everyone.
It's for
Yeah.
Men and women, actually.
Men and women, yes. And for the most part, I think we all tend to care about our appearance, but we only know how to enhance it based on what we know. And you know, the fillers that I chose to do, I felt was the first step for me in my facial rejuvenation journey. And from there, we'll decide on some other things that I'll do. And I'm happy to share that with friends and family and those within my community to just be a beacon of light that this isn't something it's only meant for people within a certain bracket of income, or only meant for those that have older. Yes, we want to start,
educating our people about this.
Yes.
And I think that you just mentioned a very key point. The question I get asked all the time is, well, I don't think I should do this, and I don't think I should do this yet. And sometimes I look at the patient and I would say, I think it would benefit you if you did this for these reasons.
Yes.
And you saying we need to educate people, I think that you've just you're letting me plant this little seed in my head that says, talk to people about this. And I think we can use this series and many other things we do here at this clinic to showcase how your looks can actually go a long way making your life sweeter, a richer, positive life, and you can actually glow and be very intentional about the things you do. Because you only got this one life, so I feel like it's a shame when people they put themselves it's almost like a form of self-flagellation. So we like, oh, I don't deserve it. Oh, but yet we can go somewhere and spend thousands of dollars and probably not see any value in our
out of
lives.
that. Yes.
So I think it's such a great thing that you brought that point up. Thank you for doing that.
Oh, you're welcome. I think your series is intentional. It definitely will make an impact. And from there, first people are seeking to understand. And once people seek to understand, then they'll do a little bit more research on their own, kind of fill out the market. And I think it gives people more courage to then book their appointment.
Yes.
And to me, booking the appointment, once you step into the clinic,
it's all done.
It's all done.
Because we will take care of you. And if you don't need anything, we'll tell you
happy.
you don't need anything.
Yes, yeah.
But I really do appreciate this honesty that you put it out there for lots of young people. You know, I know people who come to me and they're like, oh, I'm in my 30s and do I need Botox? And I tell them, you know what, little secret, I have Botox in my forehead, and just because you want to do these things earlier.
Yes.
And I also want to ask you a question, like going forward, when you said we have some other things to do, I couldn't speak on those things because of being your doctor, but I would say, are they things that you think you would want to do all at the same time? Are they very important to you, or you want to take your time and evolve? It's almost like a gradual thing for you, or I'm in now, I want to do it all. How would you express your own desires moving forward to do so many things or some things?
So I would say during my first appointment, I learned from you the 9 FDA approved areas for cool sculpting. And so with you explaining that to me, it helped me kind of think about, okay, there are 9 areas over our body that's approved by the FDA for cool sculpting. If I've started with my fillers in my cheeks, there are approved areas on the face for cool sculpting. So it leads me to think that I'll probably pursue the areas in my face first, and then from there work my way down. And when I say down, like to other areas of the body where the FDA has approved cool sculpting. But I would say when I first came in, I didn't know how I would progress. But I think from the initial consultation, you helped me understand my options. And I'm a person that likes to kind of like map things out. So I think I will continue forward with a few areas on my face and then move to different areas of my body from there. And as I share this with people, people will look and they'll say, oh my goodness, a person shouldn't do this, or they don't need to do this. And it doesn't have to function from a place of need. It can be from a place of desire. It's like when you're getting a haircut. If your tresses are long, someone may say, you don't need to cut your hair, but maybe you desire a bob look, for a month. Yes.
A different vibe.
Yes.
In a different space.
Yeah. And so that's how I'm taking this approach. And honestly, this is a lifestyle for me. It's important that I'm taking care of myself from within and then out as well. And so it's bringing it all together for me. Prior to coming to you in your practice, of course, like I focus on eating based on my blood type. I try to be active a few times a week, but not always consistent. So I had those areas of my life kind of where I need them to be, but I needed to branch out a little bit. What is it that I would like to fine tune with my face? What is it I would like to fine tune, on somewhere on my body? And so I'm glad that I was actually referred to you because the timing was perfect.
Perfect timing.
Perfect for me in life, and so it's like, okay, this is a great opportunity for me to bring everything full circle. And I like that you actually shared, having Botox, because a lot of times we'll see people and we're like, his or her skin is so flawless, it's so perfect, and we don't want to ask.
We don't want to ask.
Yes, and
for
see,
fear of
we're
things.
sharing.
But we share things. I
Yes.
don't make it a secret anymore.
Exactly.
I actually think it's good for people to know it's okay.
It's okay.
They're still gonna look natural. We look
Yes.
normal.
Yes.
I think that the back in the day we had only one image of people who did fillers and Botox. They were almost like they all looked alike, very
Yes.
similar. And most of my patients would tell me, I don't want to have that look. They start by telling me what they don't want to have, and then I would say, I hear you, I don't do that. However, let's talk about what we can do for you. So
Absolutely.
it's good that I have this openness from you, and we can talk about things that
Yes.
who you are and where you're going. And I could see your vision, and I understood that this was important at some point, the desire, because you were in the phase of your career, your life, you were moving forward, and I was very honored you chose me to be a part of that.
Thank you.
And because she mentioned cool sculpting, some people will wonder what is cool sculpting. Yes, and I think she's probably well versed in it now. It's it's a medical, I would say, procedure we do here at the clinic, and some other clinics have them, where you actually lay down and we have a machine that freezes up your fat cells, and you come back for a second cycle or second session. Probably the first session, depending on the areas you want to treat, they could last anywhere from 35 minutes to an hour or 2 hours, and you probably can even do your work on your laptop, have a good time, relax, and then go back to work the same day. No downtime, no surgical cuts, no bruising, no possibilities of complications like infections or anything like that. And when you eliminate the fat, the area gets flatter and flatter. So she mentioned the 9 areas. So in subsequent series, I'll talk about more of the cool sculpting, but it's kind of like it's what people are asking for now. What are the alternatives to surgery? What can I do? And I think that it's a good thing that we have options now.
Yes.
Very good thing. So I want to ask you just a few more questions before we wrap up. We've talked about you moving forward, how you saw this. I want to ask you, what advice do you have for young people, that men and women who will sit at home and watch you and say, well, she's already well poised, beautiful, elegant, so it's easy for her to go ahead and say, I want to do this little thing. How would you tell them to approach, if you were sitting with them and they just said something like that, how would they come about the whole thing? Because it could be overwhelming for some people not knowing where to start from. Yes. What would you advise people in general about that?
First, it starts with mindset and beliefs. And I think of a lot of what people see today and what I see when I look in the mirror starts from childhood, how my mindset was molded, how the beliefs of how I view myself started at that point in life. And for me, it's already there no matter what I look like on the outside. And so for anyone watching this today, young or old, don't know if you want to move forward or concerned if you should or should not, the possibilities are limitless. And you don't know what you're capable of, having done until you seek a professional. So I think a lot of times in life, we will talk ourselves out of something.
Yes.
And we will talk ourselves out of a great opportunity. We will talk ourselves out of moving forward in life because you're unsure of the pathway and the journey. But if I totally trust my doctor, and trust is always the first thing, and just a level of professionalism. And I would say just take the first step and make an appointment. You don't know what you don't know until you make an appointment for a consultation. And to me, time is money, so don't waste your time. Don't waste the doctor's time. Be intentional about the process as well. I believe that when I came in, I was intentional.
Very intentional. I knew right on that you had the desire, and I could sense it. And being intentional, like she says, actually helps you along the way, because you wouldn't then know if something is for you or not for you, and you can start with baby steps. And like you did, it's basically what she had was baby steps, but just the right amount for her.
And I did it for me. I didn't do it to get a reaction from any person. I didn't do it to get a reaction from any social media platforms. I did it because I recognize areas that I would like to maintain and or improve with my overall look. And it doesn't mean that you have to come in and totally look bad or totally look perfect. It's about what you desire and what you want. And always remember, beauty comes in different forms, and you have to see yourself as beautiful. And that can be bold, that can be subtle, that can be classy or classic. It can be whatever beauty is to you. But know that when you're coming in, you're enhancing your beauty. You are beautiful, you're enhancing your beauty. And also, you want to get to a point where you're maintaining a standard of beauty. And it's no different than when you have a
beautiful vehicle or house.
You don't just get it and then you're done.
Yes.
You maintain it. Yes. So I would just encourage people to be confident in your decision. And sometimes that means not talking to other people about it. Do it for yourself. And then if you want to talk about it, you can talk about it and share the results at the same time. I think for me, I booked an appointment late one evening.
And didn't tell anyone and decided to do it.
Yeah, I just did it. And then I came
Just
in.
do it.
And we moved forward, and I couldn't be happier. So.
And I'm glad you said that. Just do it. Sometimes people will talk you out of your aspirations, your desires, even in business. I mean,
Yes.
I was coming to open the clinic here in Atlanta, and they told me, "Why would you do that? There's so many clinics around. You gotta just know who you are,
Yes.
find what's right for you, seek professionals, of course, and that's why we're here to help you. And if you then decide with your professional you want to get something done, do it. Tell people about it later on. Be a doer and not a talker. And I think that that's just a beautiful way for us to say, you've given the best advice today. Just do it.
Just do it. Yeah.
Just do it. And I just want to thank you for your time and thank you for how beautiful you are.
Thank you.
And I had a great experience with you as your doctor,
Yes.
knowing you, getting to understand who you are, and I can only just wish you the absolute best in your career and everything you do. And I'm sure we're going to work together to educate people on how we can get them to a place where they are very confident and beautiful, accept themselves the way they are, and still feel okay to ask for any enhancements or anything in their career, their life, in their family dynamics. It's
Yes.
okay to
It is okay.
aspire for more, okay? And if you have any words you want to leave us with, any words of advice for people out there, and then we're going to close the series.
I would say words of advice is to know who you are from within. That's going to exude on the outer at all times. And when you visit the doctor, he's going to enhance and make that glow even more. But start from within, and I think you'll be good to go.
Love it.
Yeah.
Start from within, be the best you can be, and we're going to wrap up with this beautiful face cards that we both have here. I can say I'm proud to be sitting next to her, and thank you all for coming to our mini series, and we'll see you soon. Bye-bye.